Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video is going to be Style Hacks for Men Part 2. So if you have not checked out Part 1, I'll link it in the description box below. I highly recommend that you check that one out because the 3 hacks that I've shared, it's universal. It works for most people's profile, profession. It doesn't matter what shape and size you are. The purpose of Style Hack is really just, what are the 1% that you can do to tweak in terms of your dressing that is going to enhance your overall appearance. So Style Hacks are particularly great for some of you who do not want to put a lot of time and effort in terms of dressing up. There's just some days that you just need things to be on the go, to be really quick. So these style hacks are very dedicated for those days that you need when you're time crunch, when you just wanna, not to say play it safe, but just fall in a category where you're not really underdressing or overdressing for certain situational requirements. The first style hack, so this is particularly got to do with how you present your proportion, right? So I'm sure all of you have this in your wardrobe, particularly men, when I'm sure you have long sleeve shirts. The thing about long sleeve shirt is we often just wear it the way it is, but we don't really do any adjustments to how it should fall on our body proportion. So this particular tip, it's actually called the 3/4 sleeve length. So I'm not referring to shirt that already comes in 3/4 sleeve length. If you have those, great. It's actually not very easy to find, those long sleeve shirt that is easily adjustable. It comes with the adjustable strap and button. Happens when you shop at ready to wear, already provided with standardized sizing, and so you just have to accept it or go the extra mile to alter it to fit the length of your arms perfectly. Oftentimes that is very hard to achieve. So whenever I style people who are not particularly blessed in height, even if you're average height, I think this hack works on most proportion. Even though you are super tall, it's visually it does one thing, but when it comes to styling, like the kind of vibe it gives, also there is an advantage to that. Why the 3/4 sleeve length is because whenever you buy a long sleeve shirt, we would have this instant action that, oh, long sleeve shirt is supposed to be worn as long sleeve, right? Which is not wrong. It's just that you must know if it doesn't fall at the right length, it will make you look shorter. And then the second thing is, if it comes in a fabric that is a little bit more relaxed, or you're wearing long sleeve shirt with maybe like a more casual bottom, and you are going to occasion that is rather relaxed and it's more casual kind of environment, if you wear it as long sleeve as it is, sometimes it may appear a little bit uptight and a little bit too dressy for that kind of laid back situation. So I like to cuff up the sleeve to 3/4 length because visually what function it gives is that pulls up the horizontal line that is at the sleeve. It pulls it up to slightly higher right below your elbow point. That in turn would elongate your overall appearance because you are lifting up the horizontal line, the cut off at the sleeve where the sleeve ends, up to a higher part of your body. When your horizontal line is shifted upwards, this is why some people, they like to wear certain tops that is slightly shorter. It doesn't drag your appearance down. The whole purpose of that is so that it kind of uplifts and elevate or elongate your appearance. Cuffing up your sleeve to 3/4 length would achieve that visual effect. Now, the second thing that I've mentioned when it comes to style function is more about, think about your, denim shirt, your linen shirt, your cotton shirt, those long sleeve shirt that actually has a more casual vibe to it. When it comes to the styling, something is off. So what do we mean by this something is off? It's because usually this kind of shirt style is supposed to give you that kind of laid back, nonchalant kind of feel. And so if you cuff it up, it kind of shows more skin. It is more in line with the kind of relaxed vibe that you are giving off. So in turn, it's going to offset the formality of long sleeve shirt. As we know, when it comes to formal shirt, like if you work in certain corporate environment, if there is still some form of that professional dress code, we know that wearing long sleeve and, you know, fitted at where it should be, it's one of the etiquette, one of the rules in terms of looking more formal. And so I want you to be able to look at your long sleeve shirt and ask yourself, I know that it's a long sleeve shirt, perhaps if I cuff it up, it will give a different effect, and this is how you kind of create versatility in your styling. Alright, so let's move on to style hack number 2. So style hack number 2 is quite a controversial one, because I've worked with a lot of male clients and they always ask me this question, because I think this is something that is traditionally like educated in all of us, where I think for menswear particularly, not to disrespect some of the classic styling principles out there, is that whenever you wear certain outfit, you are supposed to put on a belt, and ideally your belt color should be matching with your shoe color, right? I'm sure you've heard of this. This particular hack relates to whether you should wear belt or not. So I'm not just talking about the color matching. In general, I do believe that color matching is quite important to look put together, coordinated. That is something that I highly recommend for sure. However, when it comes to more informal kind of dressing, where you're not really required to look super professional, there are moments where I get this question, do I wear a belt or not? Most people would think that, oh, I actually need to wear a belt because I'm tucking it in, right? So this is something that we've known for ages, and so I want to kind of break the tradition a little bit by explaining to you why sometimes I don't recommend a belt. So if you are average height, you know, what is an average height for men? I think it's around 5'6" to 5'9", which is around your 170 plus 175 cm. Those kind of height, I think you can sometimes opt to wear a belt and not wear a belt. It's kind of like you are ideal in between, right? However, if you are below what I've just mentioned, which is below 5'6", I think it's not a very good idea if you wear contrasting belt styles, or even worse, belt styles with very outstanding buckle. Those trends where you show off the luxury belt buckle that you have. It works on some people if they have the kind of confidence, charisma, character to pull it off, or if you are in an industry where you are required to be more creative, or perhaps you're in fashion. Fashion people always have an excuse of breaking the rules of fashion. So if you want to look more sophisticated, and of course, again, it goes back to the hack number 1 that I've mentioned. Wherever you create focal point that is lower at your body, it creates an attention. This is where people will look at you unconsciously first, and with that, the attention is drawn downwards, and so you appear stumpier, you appear shorter. And so for those of you who wants to appear taller, you want to appear more sleek, I don't think it's a very good idea to have focal point at near your crotch area. Unless that is your objective, you want people to look at that area. I don't think most people would want that. And so having this horizontal line that is created by a contrasting belt color is already chopping off your body in that sense. Having a contrasting buckle will make it even worse. So what's my take on this? If you're wearing something that is informal on top, sometimes when you tuck it in, you can kind of like fold out a little bit of that fabric so that it kind of covers that belt area that looks empty. But majority of the time, if you're not wearing super formal outfits, it is okay to not wear a belt. I would prefer that you break the rule and not wear a belt than create unwanted focal point. So what are some of the belts that I would recommend if you really want to still put on a belt for functional purpose? Again, it is not for showing off purpose. So many varieties out there. You can check out very matte, those reversible version where sometimes when you flip it over, there are those belt style that is very versatile now. It has this more toned down color and it's more matte. It's not shiny, that kind of leather shiny that catches attention. Or even go with those belt buckle that is very minimal in design, and sometimes the design is tone on tone, so you don't really see much of it, And the whole point of it is find a belt color that matches most of your pants color. So it's supposed to be ideally tone on tone. Alright, moving on to the last style hack. So this is particularly for those of you who are a little bit more lean and you want to showcase your trapezoid body shape. So what is a trapezoid body shape? Basically, it's wider upper body and a more trimmed down lower body. This is the ideal body shape that most men would want to project. How I like to achieve this, it's not a blazer. If you're thinking that I'm going to say that, I know that a lot of times blazer is a little bit too far-fetched for some people when it comes to weather, practicality, and then maybe they think that it's a little bit too formal. What I would recommend is a knitted sweater, especially when it's textured, especially when it's not just like some solid color. It kind of creates this bulk and volume on top. And so when you put it on, the knit properties itself already hugs your body. It adds volume. So for those of you who are lean and you want to appear a little bit more muscular, more built on top, the knitted fabric can achieve that. And even more than if you pair it with a darker bottom, so a brighter knitted top and a darker pants, that will create instant widening of the upper body and then a more trimmed out appearance on the lower body. This gives you the trapezoid or inverted triangle body shape. You have that kind of body frame. It gives you more option in terms of the kind of informal casual outfits that you put on. One of the greatest mistake that most men make is that because they are already quite lean, sometimes maybe leaner than how they want to be, they wear black outfits, they wear materials that doesn't give them that kind of volume. And sometimes they put on a shirt that doesn't have a certain design element or texture to kind of like bring up their upper body. So it kind of makes them look more frail and less masculine. So this is a very easy style hack to achieve when it comes to knitted fabric. Look for especially those that has like texture to it or cable knit. But I know some of you are going to tell me, Michelle, I'm living in a tropical area. It's wearing cable knit sweater is a little bit crazy. I understand there are many kinds of sweater, from lightweight, medium weight to heavy weight. So obviously don't go for the heavy weight or the medium weight. If you feel like the medium weight is too much for you, then play with colors. Brighter upper body, brighter top, and darker bottom is going to help you achieve a similar effect as well. Anyways guys, these are the style hacks for part 2. I hope you find some of these tips helpful. I hope that you would try to incorporate some of it and see it for yourself and let me know if it actually works. I'll be very open to your experiments. Now, if you'd like to work with me one-to-one for a personal styling session or just a style consultation, you can always check out stylified.com. I will link it below again. Or you can DM me. I can always share with you a little bit more about how this works and what are the wardrobe services that we provide. Please guys, thank you so much for watching. If you find it useful, again, please help me like and share, because this will really help me to put out more and more valuable contents in future. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.